here is Kyrsten Sinema basically saying she doesn't want to take any hard votes.
Well, as folks in Arizona know, I've long been a supporter of the filibuster because it is a tool that protects the democracy of our nation rather than allowing our country to ricochet wildly every 2 to 4 years back and forth between policies. The idea of the filibuster was created by those who came before us, the United States Senate, to create comity and to encourage senators to find bipartisanship and work together. And while there are some who don't believe that bipartisanship is possible, I think that I'm a daily example that bipartisanship is possible. Not just this trip today and tomorrow that John and I are doing, but the work that John and I and many other of my colleagues in both parties do on a regular basis. So to those who say we must make a choice between the filibuster and X, I say this is a false choice. The reality is that when you have a system that's not working effectively, and I would think that most would agree that the Senate's not a particularly well-oiled machine, right? The way to fix that is to change your behavior, not to eliminate the rules or change the rules, but to change your behavior. So I'm going to continue to go to work every day, aggressively seeking bipartisanship in a cheerful and happy warrior way, as I always do, and showing that when we work together, we can get things done.
A lot of folks say that the filibuster is a relic of the Jim Crow era, and my sense is you don't support those things from the Jim Crow era, so why would you support the filibuster?
Well, the filibuster was not created as a tool to accomplish one thing or another. It was created as a tool to bring together members of different parties to find compromise and coalition. And when you think about our founding fathers, when they created the Senate with 2 senators from every state, regardless of population size, with elections staggered every 6 years so that only a third of the body is up for election each cycle, it was designed to be a place where you cooled the passions of the House, where you work together to find that compromise, and importantly, where you protect the rights of the minority from the majority, regardless of which party is in the majority at the time.
This is...
Cooled the passions of the House is a really interesting way to say that you don't support the people's choice or the actual democracy.
First off, I just go through the list here. The founding fathers did create the Senate. Incidentally, they also created it in such a way that you weren't allowed to elect it, the Senate, that they were appointed by the states. But they specifically did not create the filibuster. Incidentally, she is standing next to John Cornyn talking about the possibility of bipartisanship. John Cornyn voted against the literally bipartisan January 6th commission that had every single thing that the leader in their Republican leader in the House asked for. Every single thing. The idea that it protects us from allowing things to ricochet is absurd. It's simply absurd. This is and the idea that when a system's not working, what you need to do is change your behavior really has a misunderstanding of the concept of systems. If the system is not working, the issue is the system, not the people in it. And a system has to be built in such a way that understands what's happening with the people.
The system changes the behavior, not the other way around.
The bottom line is Kyrsten Sinema is afraid to take difficult votes. She is afraid to vote against the infrastructure bill. She's afraid to vote against S1, the voting protection bills. She's afraid to vote against the PRO Act. She's afraid to vote against all these things, and she's afraid to vote for them. So she is just being utterly and simply cowardly, and that should be the line of attacks that people in Arizona take.